The Haunting Echoes of Whisperwood. Imagine stepping into a place where time has forgotten, where the walls themselves seem to breathe with secrets too terrifying to remain untold. Today, we're diving into a spine-tingling story, inspired by the legends of haunted woods and forgotten voices. Welcome to the Haunting Echoes of Whisperwood. Whisperwood is a dense, old forest, untouched for centuries. Local legends whisper of strange occurrences, eerie lights, disembodied voices, and shadowy figures that follow you, but only when you're not looking. Most dismiss it as just another ghost story, until someone disappears, someone like our main character, Emily. Emily, an aspiring photographer with a curiosity that bordered on reckless, had always been fascinated by the macabre. She wanted to capture the essence of fear, to photograph the places where normal people would never dare go. And so, one crisp autumn evening, she set out for Whisperwood, determined to document its haunting beauty. But as she ventured deeper, it became clear, something wasn't right. It started with the sounds. At first, they were faint, just the rustling of leaves, perhaps, or distant animals. But soon, they grew more distinct. Voices. Low, hushed whispers, calling her name. Emily, Emily. She paused, heart pounding, staring into the gloom. Her camera's flash cut through the darkness, but it revealed nothing. Still, the whispers persisted, swirling around her, growing louder, more insistent dot. But Emily pressed on, convincing herself it was just her imagination. Until she stumbled upon something impossible, a clearing that shouldn't exist, a place locals claimed never to go. In the center of the clearing stood an old, decaying cabin, its wooden beams warped and weathered by time. Emily's hands shook as she raised her camera to take a picture, her lens capturing the silhouette of a figure standing in the doorway, just for a split second. She froze, feeling the cold grip of dread curl around her. The figure didn't move, didn't advance, it simply stood, watching her. Determined to get a closer look, she approached. But as she did, the figure melted into the shadows, as if it were never there. Inside, the cabin was dark and cold. The air felt thick, heavy with something she couldn't explain. Dust and cobwebs covered everything, but on the floor, there were fresh footprints, leading deeper into the building. Emily followed, her breath quickening. The whispers grew louder, swirling in her ears like 1,000 voices trapped just beneath the surface of reality. At the back of the cabin was a small, ornate mirror. It was pristine, untouched by time, reflecting the dim light in the room. But there was something off. Emily's reflection stared back at her, but it wasn't quite right. The reflection's eyes were just a little too wide, its smile a little too sharp. And then, without warning, the reflection moved on its own, raising a hand to point directly behind her. Emily spun around, terror flooding her veins, but there was no one there. Just the silence, heavy and suffocating. When she looked back at the mirror, her reflection was normal again, but the sense of unease only deepened. Emily knew she had to leave, but as she turned to go, the door slammed shut behind her. The air grew colder. Her flashlight flickered and went out, plunging the room into darkness. In that silence, she felt it, a presence, cold and malevolent. The whispers had stopped, but something was here with her. In a moment of sheer panic, Emily ran toward the door, slamming into it with all her strength. It wouldn't budge. She turned back toward the mirror one last time, her breath caught in her throat as she saw it, the shadowy figure from before, now standing inches away from her, its features obscured, but its intent unmistakable. And then, in the reflection, she saw herself being pulled into the shadows. They say Emily was found wandering at the edge of the woods days later, disoriented and terrified, her camera gone. She never spoke of what happened in Whisperwood, but those who've seen her claim she's never been the same. Haunted by something that followed her out of the woods. Something that refuses to let her go. Some say it's the forest itself, others think it's the shadow in the mirror, but one thing is certain, Whisperwood never lets its secrets stay hidden for long. Thank you for joining me on this chilling journey into the unknown. If you've ever experienced something strange, something you can't quite explain, let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe for more eerie tales and paranormal adventures.